what's cool about us is like we all have like the same goal. Like we want to perform, we want to be hip hop artists, we want to get our message out there. But we all have such individual styles, and like I feel like we respect each other's styles very well. Like we're not saying like, oh, like you need to change that up, like, oh, you need to adjust like how you're saying that to like fit the song. Like be like, yo, just hop on the track, hop on the stage, and just like do your thing. And like I think that's what makes us less of like a rap group, but more of a collective, because we're just like a collective of all these different individuals and unique artists, and it's really dope.
I know it started with it started as an idea between Matt and Dennis, and I knew Matt from Poetry Slam, and you know, like he brought me into it. I never started rapping. I'm the freshest of the crew. Like I'm the complete novice, but they really brought me in, just like helped me, you know, hone my skills and really get to where I am.
Originally, I met Dennis, and he introduced me to a couple of other dudes, and we had a audition together, me and Dennis, and he saw me spit, and we're like the only two rappers there. So we sort of took refuge from the rock and the punk groups, because we were, you know, doing our own thing, and then he told me about the collective. I was on board with it off the bat, so I just hooked up like that.
OHHC is basically an idea that Matt and I had, because you know, I went to the Poetry Slam, and I saw him, and it sounded like he could spit bars. Then I also knew about a few other rappers on campus, and I was asking him, you know, because I was just a freshman, and that was last year, and he said, you know, there's a punk collective in town, but there's nothing for hip hop, and I was wondering how there's nothing for hip hop, because after all, there's so much talent, like I'd already seen, and he also knew some people who had talent. So, you know, we said, let's start it, but it wasn't until the beginning of the spring semester of 2014 that we actually sat down and actually had our first meeting. And I remember Curtis came through, Brian came through. That's when I met Brian, Mr. Temptation. There's a few other people, and since then, you know, it's just been going uphill.
You sit there and think about it, every single artist is a paintbrush, but Brian is the paint. Like, that's how I see it as. He's the paint and we're paintbrushes, so he brings the paint to the table. And we just go in and we just paint however we want to. That's how I see it as like a canvas. So like, he just brings that element for you to see where you want to go. That's how his beats are. They really speak to you in some type of way, and they move you a type of way. So like, it's amazing. He knows how to engineer, how to like, the beats are phenomenal.
Matt was like, yo, I have this dude, this called Mr. Temptation. He makes beats, and it's from, you know, it's from back home where he's from, and he's been producing this stuff for I think since junior high. But I only met him at the first OHHC meeting, and next thing I knew, he said he's gonna send us a couple of beats. I really didn't know what to expect, but when I heard them, they were all fire. Every instrumental he makes is always good.
All I know is one check a second in the timer. All I know is 30 words you get on my blinder. Y'all trying to bring beef, your mind. In a free how you ain't even near. It's clear that you hit cause you fake on the real though. Dark boy, but I still glow.
I mean, he's like the production head honcho czar. Like, he's a beast. He's something else. Plus, like, I can write like quality stuff, but it takes me a while. That kid goes in, bangs out crazy beats like it's nothing. So his work ethic is paying off like nuts, and it helps everybody in the group because we all have, you know, the different resources, and he throws us beats, and we do our thing. And like, without him, it would be a totally different type of thing. Different.
Well, I was actually here, and I was teaching Curtis some tips for production, and we found this sample, and the strings to the little guitar, that was like calling to be flipped. And then we made the beat and we found out that somebody else that's already famous already flipped this. So we completely trashed the original thing and we flipped it another way. Came out good though.
Beginning, I wasn't too certain on what was going to happen and where we were going to go with it, but you know, after a while, these guys really became like family to me. Like, and it's something I never could have fathomed ever. Like, never could have guessed that it was going to go the direction that we did, or that we have gone. When Dennis first approached me about it last year, I was skeptical. I mean, simply because of the demographic of music that goes on in our campus and in oneonta. Like, I didn't really see much of potential for growth, I guess, and I was so proven wrong, and so gladly proven wrong too, because I mean, the reception that we've had has just been so warm and heartfelt, and we've had so much support from not only friends and obviously family, but like just random people in the community too, like especially being able to come out tonight and do the this little get together in the skate shop, and now it's going to become a weekly thing, and we're going to hopefully try to keep it going, keep the ball going as much as possible.
My name is DJ Omsign, and this is the OHHC Cypher.
Q-tip in a trap called me. I visualize the shit that your eyeballs see. I used to sell weed and get high all week, but my father thinks that I'm a loser. Plus I'm pissing off my mama, a boozer. Accuse ya of doing this shit, but you better know I'm down low like scuba divers. Try to get higher than my mind is, and you might find this cloud 9 is not a number, a decimal. Never check her how I tell her bring it back before I rep it slow. So you better know how I kick it. I told you the difference between me and these little infants. I'm kidding, I'm living, I'm spitting my shit. So you better know my tongue straight be flipping on the silver. Kill you like Anderson Silva, fighting MAA. When I say what I'm writing, I'm not, I'm knifing. Bring a fucking gun to a knife fight, excuse me. I might say something that's fucked up, but that's enough, son. So I might grab a chick and bust a nut up.
Skate Shop, oneonta, New York. OHHC just slayed it.
The OHHC is a collective, and we're all independent artists. But I think it would have been harder to work together if we had to work together like a group. Like if we had to someone stops and then you go like, I don't know. I mean, if it had to be a thing where we had to work together as a group as such, it might have been more difficult. But the fact that we're all independent kind of made it easier, because that first cypher we did, we didn't know what anybody else was gonna sound like. We just got to the studio and they said, "Oh, who wants to go first?" And you know, Charlie was like, "Hey, heck, I'll go first." He went in, you know, he set the pace. Then Curtis like, "Yo, I'll go next." And just the contrast, the difference between Charlie and Curtis, for instance, made the cypher that much better, because the switch was just, you know, it sounded nice. Then from Curtis to Matt, that's a whole different style, different influences. Then to me, you know, it just happened to work perfectly, but we didn't have to try that hard. It was natural.
I don't know, it's because of our influences are different, you know what I'm saying? But I guess like that's the beauty of a collective, is like different people come together from different parts of the world and just combine as one. To me, it makes it better that way, because if your styles are all the same, it gets boring, because everyone doesn't bring anything different to the table. But the fact that everyone is different, we can attract different types of people who are interested in maybe a particular style or a couple people's styles, but the fact that they like certain things, it gives us more of a variety to branch out, because people will just like different sounds or flows or lyrics. So I think it makes it interesting. I don't think it gave us a hard time though, like at first. Like, I think it was fun.
If I commit suicide, is that considered killing a joke? I'm thinking about jumping off a ledge or a bridge, but I know I would choke. Hopefully I'll get that poke, because the branch of an oak cannot hold me. I am dancing with the devil, but he cannot touch me. I am boxing with God, but his arms cannot reach me. So don't give me a pity. Let's research the birth of the social pyramid, see whose fingerprints stain the bricks. White man, European imperial drive. Plundered America, punished the native tribes, said, "How There you inhabit this land that I wish to own. Your tomahawks can't defend a musket to the dome, and will comb the land for resources, murder all the bison. Doesn't living on a crowded reservation sound enticing? Here's the icing on the cake. We'll embrace capitalism, capture Africans, shackle them on floating prisons, up the middle passage to plantations where they slave. Master sips tea from his porch as they're tortured through the day. Now, harvest the cash crop. Harvest the cash crop. Catch 30 lashes to the back if your ass stops. Now harvest the cash crop. Let that cash stack up. Mad bucks. So much money we can't even add up. Fast forward. Hip-hop starts to make a profit. White man yanks the business suit up out the closet, says, young sir, yes you. I overheard you spitting bars. My name is Industry, and I can make you instantly a star. Just disregard the fine print and sign this. You'll be making 4% and I'll be taking 96. Now, harvest the cash crop. Harvest the cash crop. Make songs.
We had like spoken word poets doing their thing on a trap beat. So just we try to be like flexible and just take on every challenge. So
because we did our thing and we had fun doing it, and I think real people recognize what we're doing.